We are live. Welcome back to Getting Real, where we have open, honest conversations about what actually creates success, wealth, and joy in real estate and beyond, especially for women. I'm your host, Monique Hom, and on today's show, we are going to be talking about the foundation that really undermines everything. It determines your income, it determines your level of success, determines your confidence, it determines the opportunities that you take. And that one thing is your self worth. So, your wealth, your business, your relationships, they rise to meet the level of your self worth. Jamie Kern Lima, who wrote the book Worthy, says, you were born worthy, you just forgot. You were born worthy, you just forgot. And today I want to share with you some exercises, three tips, tools, strategies to help you remember, to help you create that. As Barbara Stanny in her, or now Hewson, Barbara Hewson in her book Rewire for Wealth says that you cannot out earn your image, your self image. You cannot out earn your self image. So we want to help you shift your self image to one of extreme self worth so you can receive what you are worth. Um, so, if you are ready to rewire your relationship with your worth and your wealth, you are in the right place. So, if you have ever felt that you were undercharged, undergiven, you've played small, you're wondering why your income is stuck below what you think you should be having, no matter how hard you work, then this episode is for you. We are getting real about how to grow your self worth and your net worth starting today. All right. And if you know of anyone else who needs to hear this, please invite them to hear this show. This will change your life if you implement these three strategies. Okay. So the first one is to rewire your worthiness narrative. And this comes from Barbara Houston's book, Rewire for Wealth. And it is it's basically there are three steps to this, to being able to do that, to rewire. Because think about it. If you have thoughts, right? Something happens and there's an opportunity. But in your head, right, what would be the difference if in your head your self-talk is, why bother? I mean, even if I tried to do this, I'm not really good. I never succeed. I always mess up. Or, you know, because I'm not a man, I was just having a conversation a couple days ago with the woman, and she was saying she's brilliant. She's had a lot of success in business. She's trying to create a new business, and she needs to raise money. And when we dug deep and asked, what is it that you think is you need in order to to be able to raise this money? And she said, I need a white man co-founder. She's a woman of color. So if you feel that, if you have that type of belief that running around your head, like nobody's going to give me money, no one's going to take me seriously, nobody's going to give me a chance because of how I look, my gender, my race, my age, my weight, fill in the blank, you're not going to do what it takes to, even if somebody were there with a check with your name on it, a lot of times you go, yeah, there must be a catch. I'm not going to do that. Or you self-sabotage in a way. So it's really important that you will catch this thinking about whether or not you, as you are right now, is worthy of what you say you want. So, how do you do this? There's a three-step process. And it is the first one is to recognize that limiting belief, recognize when your brain says something that undermines your self-worth, that in one way or another is saying, I'm not worthy of this opportunity. It's not going to happen for me. Right? Anytime you catch yourself thinking that, right? That's the first step is awareness, recognizing those thoughts of I'm not enough, I'm not ready, who do I think I am? Become aware of when those stories show up. Okay, that's the first step. If you can have that awareness, that's huge because oftentimes it's running in the background. We don't even think to question it. Like, oh, obviously it's not going to work for me because no, it's not obvious. It's not true. Recognize that you have this limiting belief. The second thing is to reframe that belief, right? So I'm not worthy becomes I am worthy. I'm not ready. So I am capable. I have everything I need to succeed. Who do I think I am? It's like I know that I am worthy. I know that I am successful. I know I belong here. Right? So that you want to shift the narrative in your mind. And the third step, right? So you catch yourself saying something that you really don't want to be true for you. And then you switch it to what you do want to be true for you. And the third step is you react differently. React differently. So if you were in thinking, nobody is going to, they're not going to invest with me because I'm not a white man. So I'm not even going to bother making that phone call. Then you notice that belief and say, I have everything I need to be successful. And then you do make the phone call, right? What would you do differently? So instead of going, nah, I'm not going to do it, you do it. Right? If you are going to not even bother doing looking at the numbers for a potential deal, right? It's like, why even bother going through and looking at the numbers on this because it won't work for me. Instead of ignoring it, do the numbers, right? Take a contrary action. Then you start to rewire your brain. Once you start to react differently, then things completely shift. So recognize the limiting belief. And one way to also help is if you catch yourself saying it, follow that up with, and that's just the way I like it. And that's how I want it. Right. And if you don't really want it that way, then I need to shift. Right. And then reframe and react differently. Okay. So that's step one. You're going to react differently. You want to take bold, aligned action. You want to speak up. You want to ask for what you're worth. You want to set a boundary. You want to make an investment in yourself. That is reacting differently. Jamie Kern Lima, who wrote the book Worthy, has this incredible story. So she was a woman. She didn't have much money, but she had a dream, wanting to create a cosmetics business, skincare. She had terrible skin, but she started to do it. She was overweight, and she kept going to investors, and several of them, and one even told her, quote, "People won't buy from someone who looks like you." And they loved her idea, and she'd had sales and she was having success, but because she was not a size 2, 6 foot tall, supermodel look-alike, they weren't taking her seriously. She got rejection after rejection after rejection. And she could have taken that very personally. Like really taking that to heart. Like no one's going to buy from somebody who looks like somebody who looks like me could never be successful. But she reframed that story. She reacted differently. She went on to QVC herself in all her glory, actually makeup free, showing her rosacea, her bad skin, and then put on the foundation and showed what a difference it made and was on there authentically. And she had incredible success, not despite who she was, because of who she was, because of her bad skin, her just looking normal. People related to her and saw the difference that her products made. And she ended up selling her business for, wait for it, $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. So things can, if you can reframe, right? If you can recognize, reframe, react differently, then you can create what you want. That it starts at the level of self-worth. 2. So that's the first one. Step 2 is proximity is power. You want to surround yourself with worth expanders. Your environment will either reinforce your limiting beliefs around worth, chip away at it, or it will reinforce your positive beliefs around worth. It's really important that you choose wisely. You want to be around people who know their worth and know yours and see yours and call you to your greatness as opposed to trying to smack you down. And that's partly why I wanted to create Real Estate Investor Goddesses. I wanted to create a community for women to be uplifted in by the sisterhood of women who could see the greatness in each other. Because when you are surrounded by people who can reflect your brilliance, you rise faster. We co-elevate. We rise together. Simon Sinek says that our environment shapes our vision. You want to be in rooms that expand your sense of what's possible. You want to be around people who are living a bigger game. And the more that you put yourself in those rooms around people who are doing it and who are confident and who are supportive, then the better for you. All right. The more likely you are to get there. Now, I'm going to take a moment to talk about imposter syndrome because that will happen sometimes when you are in this room with all these incredible, successful people. That voice that wants to limit your worth might go, yeah, I know I'm here, but I don't belong here. I'm not worthy of that. I'm an imposter. They're going to find out I'm a fraud, right? And so many, and this is, I mean, I've felt that way. I think so many of us feel that way. And Monica Sawyer, who I've had on the show, my friend, I remember asking her this question, in an interview for one of our summits, just to talk about imposter syndrome. And she said something brilliant. She said, if you're not feeling imposter syndrome, you're not playing a big enough game. And I was like, mic drop. Yes. Right. So it's going to show up when you are getting into those bigger rooms. There's going to be that voice is going to go, oh, you don't belong here. They're going to see right through you. So it's common, but then you go back to step 1. You recognize that limiting voice. You reframe it. I do belong here. I do belong here. I'm in this room because I belong here. And then you react differently. You raise your chin, you push your shoulders back, and you strut into that room like you own that jet. Excuse my French. All right. But you want to, recognize that that's going to come up sometimes when you get into that bigger room of people playing a big game. And that just means you're in the right place. But then we go back to step one, and then we recognize, reframe, react differently, and we show the F up. So here's a practice that you can take to really implement this second tool. This is and that is to audit your circle. Look at the people that you are around. Who expands your vision? Who is there as a cheerleader? Who is there as a way shower for you? Going, this is possible for you. I'm doing this. I know you can do this too. Who is there for that? And who dims your light? Who is there? It's like, who are you? You know, the people who go, who are you thinking? What are you thinking? Who are you to try to do this? You know how many people fail when they try to invest? You know, that blah, 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 whatever. You know those people, those naysayers. Who are the naysayers? Who are the ones that try to keep you from being and doing your best? This is gonna be some tough love, but you want to spend more and more time. Surround yourself with the people that lift you up, that expand you, that are doing the thing themselves. And you want to cut out the people who are, you know, trying to smack you down, even if you're related to them. Now, for those you're related to, some even married to, right? Luckily, thank you, God, I have a really supportive, incredible husband. I picked well. He is the most supportive person I could imagine. But I know not everybody is that lucky, right? And some people have people they're related to that are not very supportive of their vision. And they like you the way you are, playing small. And oftentimes they don't mean badly. They're just afraid for you. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to stumble. They don't want you to lose. And so it's not that they're terrible people. It's just that it doesn't serve you to spend a lot of time there or to talk about your vision with them. So how do we deal with that? So one thing is to not talk about this with them, right? When somebody said that's why God created weather, so you'd have something to talk about. You can talk about the weather, you can talk about sports, you can talk about other things. Don't talk about your dreams and desires with those types of people. It's not worth it. They're going to smack you down. They're going to reinforce those limiting self beliefs. If they're the type of people that try to make you feel small and not worthy, right? There was one thing if they are poo-pooing your dreams, then we don't talk about them. But it's another thing if they're trying to poo-poo on you and who you are, and they tell you that you as a person are not enough. Really, it's not worth it, I think, to give them your time and your energy. So it's really important that you spend as little time around people like that as possible until you have such a strong armor, until you know so fully in your being about how worthy you are. And then you can spend a little bit of time with them talking about the weather. But for the most part, it's really crucial that you are around people that lift you up, that support you, that see how incredibly valuable, invaluable, amazing, worthy you are. So you want to seek out sisterhood, mentorship, community, supporters, cheerleaders, confidants that reflect and see your highest most worthy self. And it's not easy, but set powerful boundaries with the people who don't. All right. So, number 3, celebrate your worth in action. We don't want to wait for the big moment, for the finish line, for when the money's already here, for when the big deal has closed, for when you've had that massive win to start to celebrate. Worthiness is built by recognizing the small daily ways you honor yourself. What you focus on grows. You want to celebrate your progress and build the neural pathways for your success. So this is really about looking at all of the ways in which you are worthy now. Every time you catch your limiting belief, you reframe, you react differently, that is a cause for celebration. Every time you set a powerful boundary around people who are not fully seeing your worth or appreciating the incredible person you are, that is a cause for celebration. Every time you walk into a room that might actually get your imposter syndrome to go, because you're walking into a room of people that really impress you, that's a cause for celebration. You want to celebrate every step on your journey, every time you take an action towards your goals, every time, celebrate it. That rewires your brain to also show that you're worth it. Right? You're telling, it's like, yes, I'm doing that. Yes, I'm doing that. That's telling your brain, it's like really anchoring the positive behaviors, and it's anchoring that you're worth it. So here is another practice for you. One is like, get yourself a journal. I'm a big fan of journals. I have so many. I might need a 12-step program for journals. I'm slightly addicted, but get one that feels worthy of you. A worthy wins journal, something that feels really beautiful and special. And each day I want you to write down, well, actually 2 things. 3 ways you honored your worth today, and 1 bold desire you're claiming because you're worthy of it now. All right. So 3 ways you've honored your worth today and 1 bold desire that you're claiming. And it is fine and good and suggested that you keep writing that same desire until it is in your hot little hands. Right. But write it as if you have it now. And then 3 ways you've honored your worth. All right. So, and it could be what I do today. I took the time to meditate. That's honoring my worth. Today, I had a workout, right? And I did some strength training, and I'm getting strong, and I'm honoring my body temple because I'm worth it. And I feel like I'm honoring my worth by talking about this topic. And, having come up with these 3 exercises and distilling that, like, that's one of the ways I'm honoring my worth today. What are the ways you are honoring your worth? So write those down, and write that down every day. Every day, a win. Every day, celebrate yourself, right? That makes a huge difference. So Mel Robbins has said this simply: your income won't outgrow your belief in yourself. It's really important that you grow your belief in yourself, your self-worth, so that you can receive that income that you deserve, that income that is for you. So, to sum it up again: 1, You want to rewire your worthiness narrative, your inner dialogue around your self-worth. You're going to do that by recognizing the belief, reframing that belief, and reacting differently. 2, your proximity is power. So you are going to surround yourself with people who expand your worth. And conversely, you're going to spend less time with people who limit or diminish your worth. And 3, you're going to celebrate yourself for your actions that you take that expand your wealth, right? Expand your worth. Celebrate your worth in action. So those are the 3 steps. And now we're going to close with our famous Trinity. Before we do, I want to thank you for having been here. And again, if there is somebody who you believe needs to hear this, please share this with them. And if somebody shared this with you, thank them because they love you and they know you're worth it. So, all right, now we're going to close with our Trinity, our brag, a gratitude, and a desire. So first, I brag that I'm worthy. I feel like I bragged by sharing the 3 things that I've done today. But I brag that I often will get myself, I take every opportunity I can to get myself into rooms that stretch my sense of worth. I get myself into rooms with the most successful, high energy people I can. And high energy, high vibe and success, as we talked about before, is a lot more than just how much money somebody makes, right? Success, I want to be around people that are happy, joyful, free, that have wonderful, like they're passionate about what they get to do in the world, great relationships, right? Well-rounded people of success. So I brag that I take those opportunities whenever I can. And I brag that I have a lot of those people around me. I'm really blessed I just have an incredible community. I just spent the weekend with some friends, a friend celebrating his 60th birthday, the big old birthday weekend, birthday extravaganza. We were at this their ranch on top of this mountain and with this incredible group of people. I'm just like, yeah, I belong here. It's amazing. I'm just so grateful to have so many amazing people around me. So that's my brag. And I'm grateful for these people. I'm grateful for my incredible community, my incredible family and friends. If they say your network is, your net worth, then woo, am I ever a multi-billionaire? I have an incredible network. And just the wonderful people around me. And I'm going to brag too that I belong there. So that's part of the worth part, is feeling like, yeah, and I'm wanted in that room and I belong in those rooms. So that I'm grateful for. And lastly, my desire is for every woman listening to know how incredibly, unbelievably worthy she is, that she could not be any worthier if she tried. You could not be any worthier than you try. If you tried, you are worthy of all of your desires, every single one, and then some. They wouldn't have been implanted into you if you weren't meant for them. So my desire is for you to know how incredibly worthy you are. My desire is for you to receive all that you are worthy of, which is, the sky's the limit. You're worthy of all of it. So thank you for getting real with me today. I'd love to hear your Trinities. And I want to invite you to subscribe to this podcast, to share it. And if you are wanting a community, I want you to join us here at Real Estate Investor Goddesses, because you were born worthy. And I want to help you to build a life to match that. Bye-bye.